Amsterdam. You know we pump those brakes. You know we don't take breaks. Fuck with and you'll just break from PR to Amsterdam. You know we pump those brakes. You know we don't take breaks. Fuck with and you'll just break.
What's happening? I'm just walking, I'm out and about, and I just wanted to make a quick video about the fact that Tory Lanez is being convicted, and I just want to have a look at what a lot of people can learn about it, but also particularly what black men can learn from the Tory Lanez situation. You know, rap has had a big influence on particularly black people, also white people as well. You know, the whole promoting gross excess, and you know, the chains, the jewelry, the money, the cars, the girls, the guns, and you know, a gun was a component in Tory Lanez being convicted, and is looking at over 20 years in prison, and quite possibly a deportation and a ban from America because he's Canadian. So I think a lot of people need to look at that situation, analyze it, and keep that in mind when going about their business, because rap has a huge influence on people, and a lot of rap does promote degeneracy. It does. You know, walking around telling everyone how much money you got, talking about the crimes you're committing, which is really stupid, by the way, because you know, if that gets played in court in front of a jury, yeah, it's not going to look good, is it? And you know, it's not good. You know, I used to listen to rap music, and you know, I used to think these rappers were cool. You know, I used to think these rappers were cool. But you really need to keep it in perspective. Like, a lot of these rappers are lying to you. Like, a lot of these rappers, they're lying. They're not really talking about the things that they're not really living the life that they talk about in their songs. A lot of them are just out here trying to make money, and they know people are impressionable, especially younger people. You know, the brain, younger people tend to be a bit more impressionable. The brain is more moldable when someone is younger, typically speaking, and that's their target demographic, young people a lot of the time. But a lot of these rappers are just trying to get that money, and they know to get that money, if they talk about certain topics, whether they live that life or not, that's what they're going to do. And they're not, those rappers, those particular rappers aren't the ones who are going into prison for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But these young guys will listen to the music. You know, a lot of young black men will listen to the music and imitate what's in those songs, and the consequence of that is prison time, and these rappers keep the money flowing. So that is the reality of it, and I think a lot of young black men, and men in particular, need to keep that in mind, because you don't want to be going to prison for something silly because you were influenced by what a rapper who doesn't even live that life said in a song. I mean, I know it's a woman, but the victim, a supposed victim, because I don't know who's guilty and innocent, Megan Thee Stallion, she was, she's a rapper, isn't she? And she grasped, like, she was in court as a victim, supposed victim, and like, you know, she was the one who was obviously on the other side of those charges. Rappers aren't supposed to grasp, ain't that right? But you see, when it comes down to it, so many people are gonna grasp. Like, that's just something people say on songs to sound cool, but when a police officer or when a detective says, you know, all they want is a bit of information from this particular individual who's a rapper, and they can have some, I don't know, like non-prison time, like their sentence can be reduced, or they don't get prison time, or and then the real people that they're actually after supposedly can go to prison for 20 years. A lot of these rappers are going to snitch. In fact, a lot of people in general are going to snitch. These people walking around on road, you know, with the bop, the hoodie, the thinking they're bad, thinking they're hard. You put them in an interrogation room, and a police officer says that, you know, if they just give a little bit of information, then, you know, they give a little bit of information, and they can avoid prison time, or, you know, get 1 year in some like comfortable prison, you know, the ones where they haven't got a, like, they can walk around freely, they got a bit of PlayStation there, you know, it's all very comfortable there. They can maybe even go home. They can even maybe go home for day leave and things like that. You put a lot of rappers in that situation, or people in general who walk around acting like they're tough, they're gonna snitch, I'm telling you. Reality and what you see with the people talking are two different things. So anyway, I sort of went off topic there. So yeah, young black men and men in general should learn from this Tory Lanez situation, because otherwise you can end up looking pretty stupid in court on some stupid charges you could have avoided. You alright? No, I haven't got any food on me. So you just gotta bear that in mind, and yeah, like, you know, I'm not saying walk around acting like some geek or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, you take these rappers literally word for word and you could end up in prison. They ain't going to prison. Some of these rappers do live that life, and they do talk about it in their lyrics, which is pretty stupid in my opinion. But then you get these rappers who also kind of just, you know, laughing about it. You know, they're not really living that life. They're just making money, and they know that there's a receptible audience. They're not going to care when you go to prison. They ain't going to care. And the other thing, you know, the other thing with Tory Lanez is, whether he's guilty or not, you know, he's an example of a rapper or a singer, you know, someone in that kind of bracket who has clearly lived some sort of life in the direction of, you know, fast, you know, money, cars, jewelry, girls, guns, and look where it's got him. So just bear that in mind. It's not cool when you're in prison. You know, people might tell you it's fun when they're in prison, act like they're bad when they're in prison. They ain't that they're not going to tell you they're not going to tell you that they're crying. They're not going to tell you that they're scared. They ain't going to tell you that. Prison ain't fun, especially if you're over there in North America. Those sentences ain't a joke, you know, 20, 40, 50 years and all that. The UK, it's a bit more lenient. Still ain't fun though, and that's still a big chunk of your life. And, you know, criminal record, it limits you, man. It limits you. Even a little one, for some little charge, it limits you. Anyway, that's what I think, you know, black men, young black men, men in general, learn from the situation. Don't take these rappers seriously. Don't try and imitate their life, especially if you're not even in, yeah, just don't try and imitate their life. You're not going to get anywhere.
I mean, damn, I'll be back by 4 PR to Amsterdam.